as he struck out Chris Taylor on 3 pitches, earned the save, the only one of the series so far for Tampa, coming off a terrific regular season. Great numbers, 3-0, 1.66 ERA. Averaged a strikeout per appearance. And is fun to watch, if only because of the routine. He is, as we said a couple of nights ago, the Dominican Republic's answer to Mike Hargrove from a pitcher's sense. It's a whole ritual between pitches. It's in for a strike, 2 balls and a strike to count to Will Smith.
Yeah, he's very deliberate. He takes his time. He knows what he has to do, makes him comfortable. He pulls his sleeves up each time. He'll fix his hat. He'll go to the cap and pull it down on his head, and lots of things going on there. I don't know how he remembers all of them in the same order.
It almost looks like somebody put itching powder inside of his uniform before every outing. 2 balls and a strike. 2-2.
Now that slider is back against the Astros in Game 6. He had a flat slider that just had a big round circle on. Didn't have that tight spin and gave up a couple of big hits. A 2-run single to Springer and then a double to Altuve. But since they've given him some time to regroup, he's been real good.
Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Simple approach for Castillo. Fastball 97, 98, and that hard slider that'll get up into the low 90s.
We loaded up the pitch clock on him because he does take his time. And there are a lot of people. I remember talking to Kyle Snyder about this guy last year, and the Rays are convinced that it's his way of dictating the at-bat by making sure the pace is his own. Doesn't work for him here to Smith as he loses him on a leadoff walk. So they don't try to mess with it. That is, they're in no hurry to change the routine between pitches.
He has been so dominant for them. This is his 3rd season in big leagues, and he just doesn't give up many hits. 12 hits in the regular season over 21 2/3.
Cody Bellinger's 0 for 2 tonight. Again, to reset, he was originally penciled in as the center fielder tonight. His back tightened up. Felt like it did not prevent him from swinging the bat, but didn't trust it defensively, so he and A.J. Pollock flip-flopped defensive spots, and Bellinger became the DH about 90 minutes before game time.
Bottom part of the order having their troubles tonight. There's a good slider right on the inside corner.
Yeah, that's a bit of a departure because the bottom of the Dodgers order has been rather potent all postseason long.
Yeah, the only hit tonight is the Pollock double in the 4th inning. There's that slider at 87 right on the inside corner. He hasn't been able to command his fastball yet this inning. Another slider. He was able to get the foul ball. Castillo, you see, it's a slider majority of the time, and that sinker can be very effective as high as 97, 98 miles an hour. He doesn't throw many 4-seamers at all. He has dramatic movement on his 2-seam fastball, that sinking fastball. And this slider has always been his wipeout pitch. Zunino wants the fastball here.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud. He likes the slider in 2 strike counts. That's a rare 4-seamer that misses upstairs.
Yeah, he's flying open a little bit on his fastball, thinking more about velocity than he is about location. He hasn't thrown a good fastball this inning yet.
Boy, it's a good one. Only 4 pitchers with enough plate appearances had a lower batting average against their slider than Castillo. 2-2. Got him.
Well, there's the life on that fastball at 97 upstairs, and there's a lot of late movement on it. It still wasn't a very well located pitch, but it had enough movement on it that he gets Bellinger with 2 strikes to chase. Watch the movement that goes up and away from Bellinger, and it's a big out, first out of the inning for Castillo.
One out, one on now for A.J. Pollock, who, as Buck mentioned, doubled back in the fourth. The Dodgers only hit between their 6 and 9 hitters all night. Check in for Smith, who did not attempt a stolen base during the regular season. That might be just more to reset the fastball of Castillo than anything else.
Well, he wants to go through his routine once more.
Because we haven't had a chance to see it yet. So the first pitch to Pollock misses off the corner. Yesterday in Game 3, the Rays used John Curtis, Shane McClanahan, Ryan Sheriff, and Ryan Thompson behind Charlie Morton. And I would guess that the only one of those guys that's perhaps not available tonight is Curtis, because he threw 30 pitches. They do have Aaron Loop up. I would imagine Loop's getting up only if Dave Roberts has an idea about getting Jock Peterson into the game, because it's all right-handers until Seager comes up, and that's not for another 5 plate appearances.
Yeah, and that's what Kevin Cash is thinking about, keeping an eye on Jock Peterson, who doesn't have his batting gloves on or his helmet on yet.
He's in fan mode right now. 2-0 to Pollock. It's a 3-0 now. Yeah, we have seen Castillo much sharper than what we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, he hasn't been sharp, and it goes back to Game 6. But in that Game 2, he mentioned he picked up the save. He faced one batter and struck out Chris Taylor on a wicked slider. Picked up the save.
So 3 balls and no strikes to Pollock. Taking all the way, a 4-pitch walk. So the leadoff walk. Castillo comes back to strike out Bellinger. Then he loses Pollock on 4 pitches. And here comes Kyle Snyder once again.
Yeah, I think Snyder's going to go out and talk to Castillo about his delivery, because it looks like he's flying open on the front side, and that is eliminating his ability to locate his fastball. Everything he's throwing with his fastball is up and away to left-handed hitters. And that, too, when you fly open, you won't have the ability to get the depth on your slider. The slider's just kind of moseying away from the right-handed hitters. It doesn't have any late bite to it at all. So I think Snyder's going to remind him of trying to stay close with that front side and get his hand out in front to get more effective movement on his fastball and get that better break on his slider.
Well, Chris Taylor is the scheduled batter, and Taylor has struck out twice tonight. He has struck out 9 times in the World Series, and the slider is his kryptonite. So if ever there was a time for Castillo to rediscover that pitch, it's right now. Yeah,
he struck out in his last at-bat against Ryan Thompson in that slider. But you see how that front side isn't staying closed. He opens up, his arm drags, and then that ball is up and away. He's not able to get on top of that fastball. You can see how he was pushing that ball more than staying on top of it. So Kyle Snyder hopefully will be able to encourage him to stay just a little bit later, stay closed, and then finish with your hand out in front.
So not only has Chris Taylor struck out 9 times in the series, but he struck out in 7 of his last 8 plate appearances. Here we go, runners at first and second. Big opportunity here for LA to repad their lead.
Much better fastball right there, and Taylor was late. The numbers Matt was talking about, 7 of his last plate appearances have resulted in strikeouts. That was a good fastball there by Castillo.
Yeah, important as he gets ahead with that pitch, and now it can be slider city. And we talked about how Taylor struggles against that pitch. 4 for 42 against sliders this year. 95 cents is the batting average.
Another good fastball, much better fastball. It's down in the zone with late movement.
Oh, and 2 the count to Chris Taylor. Kike Hernandez scheduled next. I'll be honest. I'm a little surprised that we didn't see the move here for Peterson, given Taylor's recent struggles and the way he profiles against Castillo's arsenal.
I think it's just a little too early. It's still the 6th inning. I think he's going to come up once again, and I think they're talking about next time maybe, but it's a little too early, I think.
Taylor lines it to left. Hit it on the screws, but right at Margot, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, he got on that fastball pretty well, but hit it right at Margot.
So now Kike Hernandez. Kike 1 for 6 in the series, hitless so far in 2 tries tonight.
Yeah, and you can bet he's going to be looking for a first pitch fastball in this at bat right now. Something he'll be offering up. You got to get the fastball inside to him if you're going to throw it and make it move down and in. But don't leave a fastball out over the plate. Ooh, he got away with a slider. He hung that slider right out in the wheelhouse of Hernandez, and he just missed it. Watch this breaking ball. I mean, it just stays right on the inner half, about belt high. He's lucky he gets this one back.
Oh, 0-1 to Kike Hernandez. Make it 0-2. Went back in there with the same pitch.
Well, Kyle Snyder made a timely visit to the mound, didn't he?
Whatever he said worked. Smith and Pollock aboard via the base on balls.
I showed you he throws more sliders than fastballs. 3 in a row here to Hernandez.
Yes, the Dodgers have scored 3 runs tonight, but they're just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Golden opportunity here. Can Hernandez cash in? He can. Into left field. Smith will score. Another 2-out, 2-strike RBI for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Well, he stayed with that slider, and that got too much of the plate. To his credit, Kike Hernandez never got off the slider. He took 2 for strikes, laid off the one well off the plate, and this one gets too much of the plate. Right out over the heart of the plate with 2 strikes. He rips it past the third baseman. Another big hit for Kike Hernandez. Will Smith comes in to score. That leadoff walk, how many times will that thing come around to score? Castillo walked Smith to start the inning, and that's another big run for the Dodgers, coming with 2 outs.
And now Mookie Betts, runners at second and third. The Dodgers in this postseason, their ability to drive in runs with 2 out in 2-strike counts is otherworldly. And I guess we got the answer to our question on Peterson, in addition to your take that it was too early. You know, Dave Roberts probably liked Taylor and Hernandez against the struggling Castillo more than he would have liked Peterson against Aaron Loop, who was ready in the bullpen. And even though Taylor couldn't advance the thought, Hernandez could. And now Betts with a 1-1 count. Kevin Cash is going to have nightmares over the depth of this Dodger lineup. His Rays have 0 RBIs out of the number 9 spot. Dodgers number 9 hitters, 6 RBIs this postseason, 5 of them in this series, and Betts pops it up. Kike Hernandez, however, is the guy that lets a big opportunity not go by the wayside. Another wing party as we speak, and a time zone away to the east in Arlington, Texas, Globe Life Field, where the Dodgers have a 4-2 lead over the Rays. Going to the bottom half of inning number 6. There have been runs scored in each of the last 4 half innings we've played in this series. Randy Arozarena is responsible for part of that damage with a solo home run that led off the home 4th. Arozarena, Brasso, and Margot as Blake Treinen continues for LA.
How about the home runs? Arozarena with 9, Seager with 8. Cruz, Beltran, and Bonds also with 8 in a single postseason. Boy, Treinen has really utilized that cutter very effectively. He's throwing about 70% cutters now to righties and to lefties.
A ball and a strike to Arozarena. Kevin Cash was asked before the game if there was a matchup or matchups he felt particularly good about against the Dodger bullpen. He kind of laughed at the question because the Dodger bullpen's pretty good and he's not going to sell anybody out. And he kind of finished the thought by saying, you know, we thought we had something we liked against Treinen yesterday, and I'm guessing he was talking about Ji-Man Choi. But then they figured out that Treinen's throwing like 70% cutters, and so much for your perceived matchup. They still think there might be a matchup there because Choi looks like he's getting ready to pinch hit. They're going to go back to it again.
Yep, they've got him on deck, and looks like he's going to bat for Brasso.
Arozarena sends another base hit back up the middle. Man, everything is back up the center of the diamond off this guy's bat.
What a great approach, and that's what they love about Arozarena. He stays in the middle of the diamond. He stayed on that cutter. He finishes up with his 3rd hit. He's 3 for 3 tonight. Single, homer, single. Everything going to center.
He is special. 58 total bases this postseason. A new record.
A rookie getting his feet on the ground very effectively. What a great swing that is. Very level swing. Gets to that cutter out over the plate.
He's special. I mean, you made the Willie Mays comparison in game 1, just talking about some similar swing dynamics. So the impact is the same as well. I get it. It's this guy that's just beginning his major league career. And here's Choi now. Choi just 1 for 7 in the series. Pinch hitting here for Brasso.
And there's that cutter that's so effective to the left-handed hitters. It just eats them up on the inside part of the plate.
G-Man's got some people here. He's got some fans in the ballpark.
So he's faced Treinen in the past. He's 1 for 3 against Blake. That's a good take right there. Pretty inviting pitch. Choi's a very good low ball hitter. He's got a lot of power, anything on the inner half. The problem that he has facing Treinen is Treinen will throw that cutter belt high and above, and that'll tie Choi up. But he can get to anything down low in the strike zone.
Had a hitless night a night ago. Walker Buehler struck him out twice. He faced Treinen in the 7th inning last night and grounded out. Now he's in front 3-0.
Yeah, and he's really got to be selective here. That last pitch, fastball at 97.
That AL pinch hitting leaderboard doesn't get very deep when 3 is good enough to put you in a 4-way tie for second place. Not a lot of pinch hitting opportunities anymore in either league with the universal DH. 3-1. Not to mention you're in a 60-game schedule. Kevin Cash mulling his options here with a leadoff hitter aboard and nobody out. 3-1 to the pinch hitter Ji-Man Choi. Full count. You thought Diego Castillo worked slowly. Wait till you get a load of Pedro Baez.
He's just more deliberate.
See, he's capable of working quickly. Look at how quickly he's warming up. Or do we have the high-speed camera on him? Full count, 3-2. Try it again. Ji-Man Choi has spoken very publicly, and we asked Kevin Cash about this yesterday, about ghosts that apparently follow him around. He's talked about it. He is convinced that, to borrow a line from the movie, he sees dead people or ghosts. No word if they're friendly ghosts or threatening ghosts, but he sees them, and he's talked about it a lot.
And Kevin Cash's response was, I stay out of the clubhouse. I don't know anything about ghosts.
Smart man. Here's the next 3-2. Lost him on ball 4. That's a great pinch hitting plate appearance.
Now they're going to hit for Margot as well. Choi goes to first. Mark Pryor, the pitching coach for the Dodgers, will make a visit to the mound.